I just had a friend that become a mother, and I'm so happy for the little family. But at the time, I really thought he might die, and I was crying really hard because I haven't heard from them for days. And in this video, I'm gonna share some observation that I have and some really interesting thing I learned from my friend having given birth here in the UK. Hi everyone, I'm Winnie, Taiwanese, 8 years in Yorkshire, and in today's video, I would like to talk about babies and having babies in the UK. I was certain if I ever give birth to a baby, I want to do it in a center in Taiwan. Someone take good care of me. But this time visiting my friend, I actually thought, wait, maybe I could do it here too. Visited my friend who is Vietnamese, and she has a newborn baby, just became 1 month old yesterday, and I was so happy for them. And on Monday was the first time that I met the baby. She was so little, and her head was still like swollen from being born. And that actually quite interesting to know that I didn't know baby can have period as well until my friend told me that, because they were very, very worried when their baby girl started bleeding like not long after they are out of the hospital, but then ended up that she had baby period because she had her hormone influence too much from my friend. I was like, what? And the baby also have acne, and you probably think, what? Like the baby already have all the symptoms of a teenager girl. In what world? She's still very healthy, and I'm very happy that I got to meet her, and she kind of preferred my fiance, I think, more than me. I don't know whether he likes boys more than girls or something like that, because Tofu the cat, she also prefer boys over girls. So maybe that is just how this baby is like as well. Here's the thing, my friends from Vietnam, she had her baby here on the NHS in the middle of a heat wave, and she said that everyone's so professional, and even though there's no aircon, she still told me she'd choose the UK again, which surprised me because a lot of my friends recommended me to go back home to Taiwan to have my baby. But my friend from Vietnam, she said that it's actually really good to have baby here in the UK, but the problem for her is the hospital didn't have air conditioning under this heat wave. That sounds like an awful experience. I can't imagine if it's under heat wave and I have big belly, and then they ask me to lock into a hospital that have no aircon. It sounds like hell. She was in the hospital for a whole week, and as her husband, that's why I was really worried that anything happened to her, because my cousin did unfortunately pass away when she was giving birth. So I was like honestly really, really worried for my friend. She mentioned that the midwife, they were all very professional, and she didn't have a lot of opportunities to see the doctor. What she likes the most about like delivering baby here in the UK is they actually disclose all the information, and will let you have the opportunities to make decisions. And I think that is something that I probably need to check with my friend who gave birth in Taiwan, because the reason why she chose to give birth here in the UK compared to Vietnam is because Vietnam, you kind of give the hospital or the clinic the money, and then they will try to they'll try to like sell you more like services and not really disclosing why they are doing such and such to you, or such and such might be more beneficial in what circumstances. Doctor here do let her know that what is the different option and why they are doing this. And yeah, that It's quite an interesting perspective that I didn't think about before. So now I need to think about if I'm having a baby, whether I want to give birth here in the UK or in Taiwan. I was previously quite certain that I want to go back to deliver in Taiwan because that means I have my family support, but then that also means that I will be away from the UK for a long period of time. I am a bit worried about that as well. She said probably will need to be like 6 months because you cannot fly when you're heavily pregnant, and then you cannot fly when your baby is still very small. So yes, that's the thing that I just quite recently learned that keep me thinking quite a lot. But if the baby due date is in summer and the hospital doesn't have aircon here, I'm not having baby in this heat wave. And when she was going to be pushed to the delivery room, they only informed her just before that she's going inside, and afterwards she's really traumatized from that, and that makes me feel really emotional. Like I just can't imagine how hard it is have been for her. I was really worried at the time. I haven't heard from her for a long time, and that also made me really grateful for my mom. It must be really difficult. I talked to my grandma about pregnancy the other week. When she was 8 months pregnant, she was still carrying the whole family's laundry down to the river to wash by hand. My mom did it without half of the things that I would have had. My cousin didn't come home from the hospital at all. I came into this very sure that I would like to give birth in Taiwan. I'm still not sure I won't, but for the first time, Yorkshire is generally on the table. We respect all the mothers in the world. It sounds like there may be some people doesn't go through it as hard as how my friend did, and obviously not everyone lost their life during the delivery like my cousin did, but yeah, it is really hard, and please be nice to your mom. They really go through quite a lot, and I can't really imagine how difficult it would be for me to become a mother. I really want to have kids, and that is one of the reasons I broke up with my ex, because I thought we both wanted to have kids. Luckily we didn't, but he ended up didn't want to have kids with me, and that is something that I'm really sure about. I want to become a mother. At the same time, it must be a very exciting thing, but at the same time, it sounds really horrifying. I still can't decide whether I will want to give birth here in the UK or in Taiwan, but I'll figure it out when it comes. And that is all I want to share for today. If you like today's video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share my video. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.